What's up, Bulldogs? All right, I got an interesting question here. Someone said, hey, you should make a video on how you would escape the rat race right now if you're in your 20s. You know, given today, given where society is, given AI and all of these things. I'll tell you what I wouldn't do, and we can kind of derive a plan from this. So the first thing, I would not get a regular job. What I would do is I would try to be as cheap as possible and live on as little as possible. Now, you know, I've done videos talking about if you live with your parents, you're not a real man. That's still true, but I would try to live with my parents. First of all, if I'm an adult and I'm living with my parents, I'm cutting expenses down. The point is to get a really cheap place to live. So number one, try to get my living expenses as low as possible. We're talking $1,000, maybe $2,000 a month. Then I would focus on building a business. Now, would I build a content audience-based business like I have and like I've recommended in the past? Probably not. And I'll tell you why. It's too competitive today. It's so much harder. When I was starting out with my blog and simple program and all that stuff, I didn't even realize how easy it was. I could have amassed YouTube channels with 1 million subscribers easily if I would have put in the work to do it. It's not. That same level of effort required to accomplish that today is massively more, and the competition is massively more. So I wouldn't do that. Instead, what I would actually do is I would focus on building a business that's a service-based business, something that I can do, that I can implement, that eventually I can automate either with software or hire people on to be able to do. So I would look for some specific business problem, because all you really got to do, let's say that your living expenses, let's be a little bit conservative here and say your living expenses are $2,000 a month. In order to make $2,000 a month to be free to handle your living so you don't have to have a job, all you got to do is find 4 people that will pay you $500 in a month, which is not that hard, right? I mean, there's some kind of service, something that you can do for someone that's worth $500. And it might even be in the AI space. Maybe learn about AI and implement a business where you're just gonna help businesses or help small companies to be able to implement some AI. Again, I'd recommend you get Alex Hormozi's book, $100 million offers. I would just think about something small like that you could do. And then eventually you could hire people and automate that, because you just want to get free at first. And then you can sort of build out bigger and build out your plan. Another great book is that first one I said, $100 million offers, Alex Hormozi. And then $1 Million Weekend, also a friend of mine, Noah Kagan, wrote this. You know, I can't give you the exact formula or the secret to becoming successful and making money in a business in a short video like this. Like I said, I've got some stuff in the membership. You can go check that out. If you haven't checked it out, there's a link in the description down below. But if you focus on this, you're going to be able to do it. Don't try and make money quickly. Think about building something, a long-term plan, an offer that you're going to sell that's going to make sense, that you can work towards, because it's not very hard. And so that's what I would do. It's simple. I would reduce my expenses down to almost nothing, and I would start building on a business. Because once you do that and you're self-sustaining, then once you get that business going and you're making enough money manually with your work, then you start to think about the next step is, how do I automate this? And you can automate this by building software, or you can automate it by bringing people on, or a combination. And then you can increase your price. And what will happen is that it'll free up more of your time to focus on growing and building that business. Because the hardest thing in business is getting to $1,000 a month. If you can make $1,000, you can make 10,000, because it's not hard to go from 1 to 10. It's hard to go from 0 to 1. And once you can make 10 grand, you can make 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 grand per month, because it's just a matter of scaling that up, because you already have something that works. Because the biggest secret in business is find something that works and do it over and over again. And that's what you really have to do. If you can make that kind of money, again, you get your living expenses down to a couple $1,000s a month while you're making that kind of crazy money. You take that money and you invest that money in real estate, you're going to become free as well, because you only need to have a couple $1,000s a month. If you got a question for me, you can email me at john@bulldogmindset.com. I'll see you tomorrow.